Okay, so this video is basically showing how to find the area of compound shapes. And compound shapes, you would definitely need to know how to find, or at least the formulas anyway, of individual shapes that we've already looked at, such as rectangle, square, triangle, etc. And so compound shapes are ones that are going to be a little bit more unusual. They're not necessarily going to be only a triangle or only a rectangle or a parallelogram and such. But you'll find that compound, the word compound, right? When we think of a compound word, that means you put together two other words and it forms a third compound word. For example, dog and house are two separate words, but when you put them together, dog house, then you are describing something else. So compound shapes are usually shapes that are made up of other known shapes. So for example, if you look at this picture here that I have drawn, you can see that this kind of looks like a house, and this is unusual. We don't have one formula to find the area of all inside here. And so what we can do though is we can break this up into two shapes that we do know how to find the area of. And so if you look down, this distance shows from point to point what that length is. So we have a triangle on top, and this triangle, this unit here, this measurement here, says that the height of the triangle is 7 and the base is 14. And so if we use our formula, the area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height, and then we plug in and do the math for that. Then area equals 1/2 times our base was 14 times the height is 7. 1/2 times 14 is 7, so we get 7 times 7. And we know that the area of just the triangle is 49, whatever units this may be. So maybe we'll just say centimeters. And area is in squared units, so centimeters squared, let's say. And now we can look at the bottom, this rectangle, and we see that this is a 10 by 5 rectangle. And we know that to find the area of a rectangle is just base times height. And so I'm going to assume that you already know how to do that and not have to write that out. But if it's base times height, then 10 times 5 is going to equal 50. And so if we find the area of this compound shape, then it's going to be 50 plus 49, and the area of the whole shape is 99. Again, units squared. Let's just show that in centimeters just for this example. So in other words, you find the area of each known shape, or you divide up the shape into known shapes and then find those areas to get the total. Okay, here we have a heart, what looks like a heart. I did my best. And we can see, or hopefully you can see, that this heart is basically 2 half circles. Oh, that's not very straight. I don't know why. 2 half circles with a radius coming from the center. And then you can see how the bottom could then form a triangle. Now, this one's a tricky one because it looks like at first we do not have enough information. But I'm going to show you why, in fact, hopefully we do. Well, the first thing we can find is the area of this circle. And if you think about it, we can see that if this is a half a circle and this is a half a circle, then those two together would be a full circle. And we can see by this indication here that the radius is going to be 3. So we will plug that into our equation to find the area of a circle, which is the area equals pi times the radius squared. Is the area of a circle. And so by knowing that, then we can put that into our calculator, or if it says write your answer in terms of pi, you could just do 3 squared times pi, so that we can see that that's going to be 9 squared. Or if we want to put it in decimal form, which will probably be easier since this is a compound, or more useful since this is a compound shape, then pi times 9 is 28.26. Okay, now let's look at this triangle. So 28.26 is all this area plus this area, right? Because that's a full circle. Now here's a triangle. We need, again, two pieces of information to find a triangle. We need the area of a triangle equals the 1/2 times the base times the height. Well, this is, if you remember, let me redraw this. Let's flip this upside down. Here is our triangle. We know that this measurement right here is 10, but this is not the height. This is the slant height. And so the area formula for a triangle doesn't use the slant height. We need the height. But we can figure it out, okay, using two things. And again, this is a more challenging one, but I think that you guys could or should be able to do this. We need to find two pieces of information. We need to find the base, and we need to find the normal height. Well, here's how we can find the base. If the radius of this circle is 3, then that means from here to here is 3. That makes the diameter of the circle a total of 6. And then this would be another radius of 3 and 3. So if you add all of these units together, these measurements together, you will get the base as 12. But we still need the height and not the slant height. Well, I hope if you want a challenge, then pause the video and see if you can figure out how to do it. And if you don't, then I will show you. We can see that this line cuts down exactly in half. Okay, and again, that's indicated here as well, where the two circles meet up in the halfway point. So half of this base here would be 6. So let's draw that. Let me write that 6 in. From here to here would be 6. And again, this is 10. And what we have here is a right triangle, and which we know in right triangle is we can use the Pythagorean theorem. If we call this side B and this A and the hypotenuse is always C, we get 10 squared equals 6 squared plus A squared. I hope you can see how I did that. So A squared plus 36 equals 100. If you subtract 36 from both sides, you'll get 64 equals A squared. And then if you take the square root, we see that A is 8. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So our missing height of this is 8. So now we have a triangle with the base of 12. I'm going to write over here the base is 12. The height was 8, and then our area to find that is 1/2 times base times the height. So 1/2 times 12 is 6, and 6 times 8 is 48. So we have A equals 48. So this area was 48, and then again the area of the two circles combined was 28.6, and so 28.26. So if we add that to 48, we will get 76.26, and that is our area for this heart, this compound shape of a heart. All right, I hope that was helpful and not too long, and thank you for watching.